Last year, I fell in love with Paros.
It's just so beautiful that I can't.
And it very quickly became my favorite Greek island. So this year, when I got the chance to come back, I didn't have to think twice about it.
Paros and we go all the way back. All the way back to last September, so maybe that's not that long. But I feel like I've already experienced so much on this little island. Life is beautiful.
I decided to explore Parikia, the capital and the main port town of Paros. Staying in Parikia was a very different experience, and it really made me realize how small things that happen to you while you travel that you might have no control over, or decisions like choosing the right place to stay, can really make or break your trip.
It's very dirty, like literally everything is sticky and dusty. Yo guys, what is up? It is 6 a.m. here in the beautiful island of Milos, and I'm exhausted because, well, it is 6 a.m. I had to wake up early to catch a ferry from Milos to, drumroll, my favorite Greek island, Paros. Or at least what used to be my favorite Greek island before I came to Milos, and now I have two favorite Greek islands. Last fall, when I was leaving Paros, I would have never expected that I'll be back so soon, but life had different plans for me. Okay, let's get on that ferry, because it would be funny if I would like miss it just because I'm like vlogging, standing here looking at it. No, that would not be funny. I already had one major fuck up on this trip, which I will tell you about later, and that's like the reason why I'm going to Paros for one day, actually, one night. One night in Paros. You know the song, One Night in Bangkok?
You will send your personal life jackets for your own safety. You are kindly requested to read carefully.
It is so much more busy than the last time when I was here. Last time when I was here, it was end of September. Last time when I got off the ferry, it was literally so calm and quiet and peaceful. Good to be back. Good to be back. Okay, so here's the game plan. Since it's still really early, it's 9:30 a.m. I don't think they're gonna let me check in, so I'm gonna go and use my time wisely and have some breakfast. I found this place that is supposedly supposed to be the best breakfast spot here in Paris.
So as I learned how to pronounce Parikia, let me tell you a little bit more about Paros, and also imagine what a struggle it was for me growing up speaking three languages since I cannot pronounce anything. So Paros is definitely not a hidden gem anymore, but the island is a little bit less touristy than many other popular Greek islands, especially if you go outside of Parikia. You will find many beautiful beaches here and small villages that still feel very authentic. And that is basically what made me fall in love with Paros last year. I actually came here from Santorini, which feels like what I like to call tourist Disneyland. Paros compared to Santorini was just a breath of fresh air for me. And the island is located pretty much in between Santorini and Mykonos, so it's an easy stopover. There are many ferry connections, and also there's actually an airport on the island.
Kind of funny to think that the last time I arrived to Paros, I remember I was sitting right here and vlogging, and I actually had a very good like travel day. I took ferry from Santorini to here, and I was in a really good mood, and I came here and everything was so beautiful, and then everything just like went down the hill from here. What I've experienced that evening slash night was probably the only like negative hotel experience I ever had here in Greece. Also, it's funny how your perception change with time and experience, and pretty obvious, but still funny. Last time when I arrived in Paros, I thought that Paros was like so not touristy and so calm, and now arriving here from Milos, I feel like, you know, so many people are here, and like all these car rental places and tourist offices. Paros definitely feels way more touristy after Milos. So I think that is the place. There are already a lot of people there. Ooh, hello little mate. So I changed tables, and now I'm sitting underneath this pink Bougainville. Was it a good idea to come to Greece? You tell me. Should have stayed home, right? No, but funny jokes aside, I actually thought that like me fucking up the whole ferry thing was a good opportunity for me to explore Parikia. Did I pronounce it right this time around? Hopefully. You might be surprised, but Parikia is actually one of the bigger towns slash villages here in the islands. Its population is about 5,000 people, and in this area it is quite a lot. For example, the whole population of Milos is only 5,000 people. I was talking to the taxi driver on my way to the port this morning. He was a very nice man. He told me his whole life story. He was originally from Athens but came to Milos and basically fell in love with the island and promised himself that when he will get older he will come back and live in Milos. And he did that. Actually, I've heard this story quite a few times already here on the islands, where people are from Athens but they travel to the islands and decide that they want to leave Athens and move here. I mean, I'm not surprised. I got my first dish, salmon with cream cheese, because I did order more than one dish. And the second dish arrived. It's a pancake with Nutella. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, test try of the bagel. Is it good? Good bagel.
After breakfast, I walked around Parikia, and as you can probably tell by what you're seeing right now, Parikia is absolutely beautiful. It's also a very lively town. There are a lot of restaurants, coffee shops, nice boutiques.
Just walking around this area, it's the old town of Parikia. I can already tell you that, yes, it is worth it to come here because beautiful. But if you're not an idiot like me who cannot figure out how to check ferry schedule and you have more time than one night in Paros, check this place called Naussa. Naousa is where I went last year after having that really bad night here in Paros. I decided to leave, escape. Okay, now I'm exaggerating. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it was bad, but whatever. I decided to leave the place where I was staying, and while I was sitting in the reception, you know, on the phone with booking.com, fighting with that hotel people who didn't want to let me leave, I just googled where to go in Paros, what's the best place, and Naussa came up. I went on booking.com and quickly found this place in Naussa called Villa Irini. Let me just tell you that this place and Naussa, the cutest little village I've ever seen in my life, was the reason why I fell in love with this island. And I'm so grateful that I actually had this bad experience when I first arrived in Paros, because if I wouldn't have this bad experience, I wouldn't have left that place and go to Naussa, which ended up being not only like my favorite place here in Greece, but like one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. So the hotel where I will be staying is right there on this cliff. I booked it because it cost like 50 euro or even a little bit less for sea view. Okay, so as I expected, it has a bit of a vibe of an old place, but it's okay, it's just for one night. And there is a sea view, kinda. This is unfortunately yet another reminder to myself that most of the time sea view is not really worth it. I mean, there is some sea view, but then there's this whole thing here. And the reason why I wanted a sea view is because I'm shooting this different video and I wanted the background of sea for this video. And here, I mean, you can barely see it. And the place is unfortunately really run down. And what bothers me the most is dirt. I guess that's what bothers everyone the most. It's very dirty. Like literally everything is sticky and dusty, and that's just fucking disgusting. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on my channel. No, I've definitely mentioned it before, but I don't have a sense of smell, and this is not a COVID thing. I was born like that. I cannot smell. I cannot smell food, I cannot smell perfumes. There are few things that I can smell, like coffee for example, or strong alcohol, but only if it's like right under my nose. So where I'm going with this is, since I cannot smell, the way I can judge if things are fresh, like clean towels or sheets or whatever, is just by looking. I cannot smell it. Like normal people can smell things and they know if it's fresh or not. So that's why the only thing I have to judge is my sight. So when things look dirty, I really struggle with that. Anyways, plot twist. I asked them if they had a different room. At first they said they're fully booked, but now 1 hour later, it turned out that they do have another room. And I'm on my way holding the AC and the TV remote control to my new room. Okay, here it is, let's see. Okay, the moment of truth. Was it really worth it? Dim, 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 dim. Okay, yeah, it was worth it. That is a nice view. And that is why it's always good to ask. Oh my god, this is so much nicer. Okay, and now I think the game plan is pulling myself together, going down and getting in there. I'm trying to point at the sea, obviously. About 5 seconds ago, when I was swimming there, something touched my foot. No idea what it was. I mean, possibly a jellyfish, so I'm not going back there. I love being in the sea, and I'm in general like not really scared of it. But I am scared of the things that live in the sea. Like, so technically I am scared of the sea, but... So it is time for food again, and I came to this place called Mira. They had really good reviews online, and I think it must be good because when I came here, all tables were booked. The only reason why I got a table is because I told them that I would be fast and I can eat like in like 1 hour. It's still very early. It's like not even 7 p.m, which is quite early for this region for dinner. Anyways, I will be ordering tzatziki, but I'm also being a little bit more adventurous today, and I'm actually ordering fava, which is like puree made of peas. I've heard a lot about it. I've heard that it's very good, and I actually never had it before, so I will be trying that today. And then I'm also ordering some feta cheese and filo pastry and honey. And the best thing about this place is that I am sitting right by the sea with this beautiful view.
I wanted to film my reaction trying all that food, but then a family with screaming kids sat right next to me, so you couldn't really hear anything. But the food was really good. I definitely very highly recommend this place. The feta cheese dish was incredible. And after dinner, my friend ended up calling me, so I just went for a walk and had an early night since I was pretty tired after waking up so early that day. I am having my morning coffee right by the sea. Look at this view. And also, I'm like the only person here in this whole restaurant. The town is in general still very sleepy. There are not many people around, even though it's like 8:30, so not even that early. So yesterday after dinner, I just got so tired that I was basically done with vlogging. I was just like, I'm done filming myself. I don't want to do this anymore. I was just really tired. Anyways, today is a new day, and today I will be going to Milos. In a couple of hours, I will be taking ferry. The ferry ride is only 1 hour. As I said, it was supposed to be a very short trip to Paros, accidental short trip to Paros, but I am really glad that I came here and that I explored Parikia. In general, if someone would ask me if Parikia is a nice place to stay, I would say yes. I mean, beautiful old town, a lot of restaurants right by the sea, but I still think that Naussa is a little nicer. So if you do have more days, I would probably still recommend you to go to Naousa. However, it also really depends what you're looking for. I think Parikia is more happening. So if you're here with a group of friends and you want to party, this might be a better option. Like yesterday, the town was really like lively. There's so many people out on the streets. There's so many restaurants here. And what's different about Parikia compared to, for example, Milos, where I just came from, was that like in Milos you had just a couple of restaurants with traditional Greek food. That was pretty much it. And here you have like so many different options. You have Mexican food, sushi, like all these more trendy places. So it all depends. If that's something you're looking for, then this might be a good place to stay. And the thing is, as much as I can say like, oh, Naussa is a little bit better because the pink flowers are a little bit more pink there, at the end of the day, those places, yes, they're different, but they're also similar to each other. And the more you travel around Greece, like the more maybe like picky you become, or like you have your certain preferences like I do. Maybe it's also like just about being that type of person. But if it's your first time exploring Greece, or you're fine with staying in a town that is a little bit more happening and a little bit more commercial, then this is a freaking incredible place to be as well. I mean, look what I see right now. Like, is this ugly? No. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I hopefully see you in EOS.